Oh my God, this is an absolute bombshell. Donald Trump has came out and said what everyone wants to hear about Kier Starmer.
Advice to Kier Starmer, sir. He seems to be on the brink.
Well, my advice to him has always been, open up your oil in the North Sea. You got one of the great oil finds anywhere in the world, and you're not using it. They're not allowed to use it. And it's one of the best in the world, among the best oils in the world. Open up your oil in the North Sea and get tough on immigration.
Should he stay or go?
Europe is being very, very hurt by immigration all over Europe.
Should he stay or go?
That's up to him. But I've told him from day one, you're getting killed on energy. You're windmilling your country to death. Open up the North Sea. You have one of the greatest sources of energy in the world. Open up the North Sea.
The pressure is from Nigel Farage, sir.
That's up to him. The irony is striking. Brexit was sold as taking back control. Now a US president is publicly telling Britain how to run its economy, energy system, and borders. This is an absolute joke what is going on. Donald Trump is coming out here. He known from a while back. You could see his interviews in the Oval Office when Kier Starmer and him met. Kier Starmer looked like a little boy. He looked like a child. Donald Trump basically had him round the head. He had no idea what to say. He was lying. JD Vance knew he was lying. Donald Trump knew he was lying about everything. When he was confronted on immigration, free speech, Kier Starmer was lying. Yes, we are dealing with that. No, you're not. No, you're not. And Donald Trump now is basically telling you how to run your own country. That is embarrassing. We've also got a clip from GB News, which Labour frontrunner should get on best, or would get on best, sorry, with Donald Trump. That is a crazy question and a debate that needed to be had on here, because it looks like Kier Starmer is going to step down eventually.
Jonathan, let me ask you a question that is unique to The Late Show Live. Which then would get on best with President Trump, do you think? Angela Rayner, West Streeting. Go on. Or Andy Burnham.
Good question, Bev. That's the best question you've ever asked me. I think for the you-know-what and the giggles, Angela Rayner. I want to see Angela Rayner in the Oval Office.
I do. I agree. Let me ask you, Simon. Do you see it? So I'll come back to Jonathan. What do you think? Which of them would get on best with President Trump?
He always talks about people out of central casting. So I'm afraid he's going to go with the looks and pick the one, probably Streeting, who looks more like a politician. I mean, you said the glasses, the hair. I mean, I don't cast aspersions on anybody, but I think physical presence counts a lot, at least in initial meetings and impressions with President Trump.
Oh, I think there's some truth to that, but I also think he does. You know, there's a lot of high heels in that building. I can't lie. There's a certain type of conservative dress, which you and I don't mind, Hillary, do we? But I know that it's not everyone's cup of tea. But who do you think President Trump would get on best? Because I think what he'd like about Rayner would be her straightforward honesty, tackle the elephant in the room, and have quite a laugh as she's doing it. I think
you're right. One thing that I think that Donald Trump definitely has. President Trump brings to the table what makes any politician ever successful. It made Margaret Thatcher successful, Churchill successful, it made Ronald Reagan successful. It's having a true North Star. I think whoever has the most true North Star and will be there for their convictions. I do think West Streeting, as we just mentioned, he came from a council house. He's really lived that life, and Angela Rayner too. So either of them, whoever has a true North Star. And I think truthfully what President Trump really cares about, he cares about, because he has an affinity with his mother being Scottish, for the success of the United Kingdom. I think what he wants is success. So whoever's going to actually want the successful platform for what Labour is supposed to be, which is the working man Labour, that's who it would be. So maybe West Streeting or Angela Rayner, actually.
Go on, Jonathan. Let me come back to you, because I cut you off fairly quickly there.
Well, look, I mean, obviously I think Rayner and Trump would have... Well, I think that Rayner would talk to him directly in a way that Starmer never has done. I can see that there would be sparks that would fly. But actually, I think that, I very rarely have a good word to say about Donald, as you know, Bev. But I do think that something about Trump would respect that. I actually think that Trump respects people who speak their mind. And that is why a lot of conservative commentators are so wrong-footed when Trump met Mamdani for the first time, Zoran Mamdani. They said, they're going to hate each other. Trump's going to walk all over him. They're rubbing their their hands with glee, and then he wrong-footed everyone by having this extraordinary bromance with him, because Trump likes a winner, and Trump likes someone who's not afraid to stand up to him, strangely, because obviously Trump is a huge bully. He wants people to crawl to him, but he actually kind of respects people who are prepared to stand up to him. And there was an extraordinary moment, you remember, when someone asked Mamdani, do you think Trump's a fascist? And Trump almost said, you know, you can say it, don't worry. And that was kind of a hilarious moment where Mamdani knew he wasn't going to sugarcoat his opinions, and Trump liked that. So I think Rayner would actually have an interesting relationship. Berner would just probably be seen as an identikit politician for Trump. I think Streeting maybe would have a bit of the Mamdani factor, but let's face it, Streeting is no Mamdani. And I have to disagree with my fellow left-wing commentator to my left in sort of, you know, singing, showering praise on Streeting. I do not find him to be impressive politically, and I certainly don't like his politics. I think he'd be a disaster for Labour.
I think Wes Streeting might might be terrible. I don't know Wes Streeting. I've never met him. I'm just drawing this impression from what I've seen of him. I think he might be quite intimidated by the Oval Office, Hillary. Do you? I think he could be a bit cowed by it. No, Benjamin? Go on, Ben.
No, I mean, look, I've known Wes since I was a teenager, and he's not a person that's easily intimidated. In fact, I think when you come from a background like that, you only get from A to B with incredible guts. But, you know, I think the problem Angela Rayner might have is a bit like when Cheryl Cole was dropped from X Factor USA, which is, would anybody be able to understand her accent in America?
We coped to right with George W. Bush, it's fine.
Oh, listen, I spend all day here trying to make sense of what Americans are saying to me, and I can't understand. We can never understand each other.
We need an absolute miracle. The UK is on its knees and it's a joke, and everyone's seeing how bad Kier Starmer is. How has it took so long? I have no idea. I hope you all enjoyed this video first and foremost. Donald Trump is literally exposing Kier Starmer for the clown he is. I mean, it's crazy. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like, please subscribe. Let's hope he gets out as soon as possible. If you want to see the most news, the biggest news, what's actually going on, subscribe to this channel, because that's where you're going to find it all of the time.